Welcome to Wahiba Sands in Oman. This vast desert landscape stretches for hundreds of miles in every direction. And for the next few days, I'll be calling this place home. Hey guys, right now I'm on my way to a Bedouin camp somewhere in the middle of the desert right there. This, by the way, is Saeed.
Hi.
And Saeed is taking me there. I've never been to a desert like this before. This is absolutely giant. I am so excited about this trip. Getting there wasn't easy. Even in the best equipped 4x4, driving across endless sand like this is a challenge that few outsiders would attempt. After an hour, we finally arrived at my final destination. This is a camp belonging to a real Bedouin family. No tourists, no comforts, no electricity. For the next 3 days, I'll be staying right here with them. I want to learn about their family life and how they survive in this harshest of environments. Because after all, this may seem like the middle of nowhere, but for the people who live here, it is the center of their world. Well, now, this is the center of my world too. Let me show you guys around this home, this compound, because a lot of Bedouin families, not just in Oman but around the world, live in very similar setups. So right here, this is the central part of the home, the courtyard, where a lot happens. This is where people pass through, this is where people actually sleep at night as well. And it's just a general socializing space. Now there is a real socializing space, a room for the guests, which is right here. This is the one. This is where, when guests come, this is where they usually gather. There's also a TV right over there, yes, because there is a satellite dish and a solar panel in this compound that connects these guys, this family, to electricity and to the outside world. Right here, if you pass through, this is the ladies section. When male guests come and visit and they sit in the guest house, in the guest room that I just showed you, this is where the ladies of the house usually end up hanging out. Now, in local culture, it's sometimes seen as inappropriate for young women to hang out in the same space as, well, older men or men in general. And this is why this space has been designated for everybody's comfort. And right here, behind this little door, we've got the storeroom. And the storeroom here contains a lot of the food, the grains, as well as the drinks that these guys store here. And this is the fridge. Yes, it contains cool drinks. Next up, the kitchen, which is just across the courtyard. It's right here. This is the kitchen, and this is where all the magic happens. Pretty simple space. Pots and pans. There's a sink right here. There is a stove over there. There is a baby on the container. And this is where they cook. And we cook basically on the floor. This is where we cut up all the ingredients. This is where everything is prepared. Yeah, I guess that is the tour of the house. It's simple, it's functional, it's their home. And these blankets, everybody gets one to sleep on, and normally they sleep under the stars in the courtyard together. The family actually encouraged me to bring my own tent so I can put all of my stuff and all of my luggage in it. So it is right here in the middle of the courtyard. New little addition to the household. Little Hayati seemed pretty excited about it. For me, the best part of any morning is breakfast, and breakfast here, pretty much out in the fresh air, is amazing. So here is what we've got for breakfast today. We've got this wafer thin bread right here. We've got eggs, Right here we've got beans and my favorite part, dates. Sad? Sad. Thank you to my little helper. Little did I know what rituals awaited me after breakfast. It was time for the daily beauty ritual. The skincare products and perfumes that the ladies of the house use are all organic and natural, many of them made right here at home. This family may live in an environment that most of us couldn't imagine surviving in, but no matter our differences, all people all around the world have beauty rituals of their own. The Omani desert is no different. Just to make sure that I smell nice for the rest of the day. This was only the first step of my little makeover. I followed in Hayati's footsteps and applied some of this protective paste on my face. But that was not the end. The girls started applying kohl, basically eyeliner, to themselves and their little girls as well. Nobody was spared, not even me. Okay, it's my turn for the kohl. Alright. That did not feel good. Done. After getting my makeup done, I'm just sitting here reading my book. And Hayati took example. She's also reading a book. Honestly, I'm not too convinced whether she actually understands what she's reading, because this seems to be a computer book and it's in English and she's holding it the wrong way up. But it's nice to be a sort of example. Everyone wanted to give reading a try. And when I say everyone, I mean even the littlest one around. But our reading session didn't last very long, because it was time to get started with the daily work around the camp and the animals. And we're off to feed the camels, but we have to first get there in the truck, the Land Cruiser. So that's what we're going to be doing now. We packed ourselves and the hay onto the back, and soon Noor was behind the wheel, driving us through the sands towards the camel enclosure, a good few miles across the desert.
نزلت يا
The camels seemed pretty pleased with the extra grain that they were getting. As you may have noticed by now, women do a huge chunk of the work on this farm right here. After the camels, it was time to tend to the goats. With over 50 goats in their camp, there is plenty to do. The morning feeding scene looked like complete chaos to me at first. I have to admit, guys, the feeding of the goats is a pretty intricate, elaborate affair. It's not that you just throw food at them. No, there is a whole system. First, the little baby goats are fed with their moms, and the women help them out to sort of make sure that every single baby gets fed. There's currently a goat trying to eat away at my scarf. And then each of the other type of goats is fed in turn in its own little segment, so that everybody gets a chance to eat properly. Right? Yeah, and this little one is the main helper in the whole thing. Right? Tamam? Tamam. Woo! At the very end, the girls sat down to milk the goats. And this is my new favorite friend. Soon, it was time for the very last task of the morning, fetching the water. That's something you may have been wondering about. How does this family get its water? This is how we source water here in the desert. First, that generator is turned on. That generator is then connected to the well, which gets water from the underground. There's some magic that happens inside the well, and somehow the water is then transferred into the big pipe that goes into the plastic container on top of the bigger pickup truck, and we then take that water back to camp. That's how water is extracted and drawn right here in the desert in Oman. With all the chores done, we headed back home. As the sun set over Wahiba Sands, we all huddled together around a fire. Dinner turned out to be pretty unexpected. This is desert bread. It's baked directly on top of glowing coals, and then even more coals are added on top to ensure an even through and through baking process. Eventually, the bread is buried under a layer of sand and then taken out again after a while. Bits of ash are scraped away, of course. So right here we're using bread that was just made in a pile of sand, plus some food left over from yesterday. Nothing at all is wasted here. And of course, the way that we eat here is with our hands. So you just squeeze this ball of bread in your fingertips so it forms a little ball. Pop it in your mouth. That's it. Over the 3 days that I spent with this beautiful group of women and their family, I tried to help out as much as I could and spent a lot of time with the little girls. From this perspective, you know, the desert looks like it's completely barren, inhospitable, vast, endless, and unlivable. But there are people who live here. People who live here and who thrive here. People who call this place their home. And whose lives are, well, I guess, extraordinarily ordinary. What a place, and what people. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and if you did, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed to my YouTube channel and checked out my Instagram. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next vlog.